flank, it's very, very quick, but Shots is going to hit the headshot, and just like that, Vitality are back in the round, and this isn't so bad at all. Dupree, that MP9 not really going to do a lot to Saiwu, and that's an unbelievable turnaround.
That's an incredible turnaround. You're exactly right. Saiwu, that first shot, that's the one that saved it. Even Glaive with that fast flank. Shocks, the brilliant awareness to turn around and watch for that flank. There is an AWP on Device. Shocks is going to try and hunt it down. I don't know if Device is aware of this. Actually, Shocks, if he can take this op away, that would be so massive.
He definitely doesn't know.
Dupree, or excuse me, Device is going to get caught. I don't know why I said Dupree.
Magisk, the only one left.
Fair play. Nice recovery from Vitality.
That is... Yeah, I thought that was going to be the beginning of something really awful. Because they were either going to get flanked by Glaive or Sip with that forward position was going to shut them down.
Well, the feeling is right. Like they ran away from long because they felt the pressure in that part of the map, and they go back to Catwalk, but they're stuck by smoke. So that Zipnix would be able to mount a little bit more of a fight, which would allow Glaive to be so much more effective. If Zip gets that first kill, then both players on the Vitality side have to commit to the bomb site to make sure it's secure to get the bomb plant, and that lets Glaive control Catwalk in such a big way and play it with such patience.
Well, that orc did nothing at all. Still, you understand the attempt to try and make it relevant. Oh, team damage all around. And Glaive, he doesn't have any armor here, so they should be able to win the fight against him. It's risky a little bit, but ultimately they come out on top. And now it's just Sip, and, well, he's in trouble no matter how you switch this up. One good headshot. Apex with the return. A quad kill for Apex in this round, and they only lose 2 players. I think that's acceptable for the moment.
Absolutely. A little bit of extra money being able to be built up for the Vitality side, but they're going to go up against Device with his AWP again. M4s across the board for the other 4 players in the Astralis side without kits, and pretty light on utility. But obviously, obviously this is, much better start than Vertigo was. This has got to have you feeling good. An immediate response after losing the pistol in the second round, and all of a sudden you're back on the board and you're starting to build up some rounds of your own.
Yeah, it's nice to see Vitality able to sort of put that first map behind them a little bit and just ease more into this one. No utility at all really on Astralis in this round. So if they don't get early fights, or if Vitality get a bomb down, that's probably going to be a big win for the T side here. Ooh, there's a chance, and you might not get very many more like that.
No,
that would have been the kind of fight you want to win when you don't have utility.
Well, you have to imagine Device is going to remain aggressive, and he is indeed. He's peering towards Catwalk. This is an interesting setup.
Oh, but he's got a flashbang, Magisk. If they make any noise up here, if they make a mistake and he flashes Dupree in, instead it's going to be a little bit of a peek, and there's so many people peeking. He's ready for more. He almost takes 4 people right then and there, but Device now in the middle. That smoke going to be going up, and it's a 2-on-3, and they may still win this round.
Oh, they're definitely going to win this round. This will be a save call from Astralis. They want to keep these weapons. One thing that we didn't catch that under the radar, Alex with his 1 kill lurking in middle. With the way that those dinks came out in those B tunnels, 2 players, Shocks and Saiwu, very softened up. If Zipnix is able to get over to that B bomb site with his M4, he can mop up a couple of those kills very, very quickly and give Astralis a massive advantage. So an all-important lurk from Alex to get that 1 kill.
Wow, that's wild to watch. It looked like that was going to be shut down, especially when they missed that AWP shot.
Yes.
He was about to take all of them. Didn't work out that way.
That's an interesting setup. I quite like that. And you pointed out the other side of it. If there was like a footstep made, a mistake, or a noise made in the upper B tunnels, the pop flash for that first player could have been so powerful. I think that was what, Magisk and Dupree?
Yeah, it was. Wow, 3rd round for Vitality. They even survived with 3 guns alive. They are building something pretty strong here early on. Even though some of these rounds have been a bit close. I mean, the one with Sip on the catwalk and this one, obviously, there's been some real danger in them, but they come up with weapons alive, and they keep denying Astralis saving that much. So it's interesting. And nobody challenging Lord Dark, though. Glaive has made his way down. Oh, he's going for it, and Apex is so ready for that one. That's one of the rifles gone.
Yeah, you expecting some kind of trickery coming out when Astralis saves their 2 guns. The AWP on Device peering towards mid, and no one from Vitality there, not even risking anyone getting picked off by the AWP. Device now rotating back to the A bomb site. He's got a buddy system with Dupree, who's just playing support, and when he gets boosted into the site, he'll have Zipnix to do the same thing. But this bomb site is being held, the peak is being held from Saiwu and Pit. Device is going to try and crawl his way over, and he's done it. This is actually so dangerous. If Device can find this pick on Saiwu, Or first on Shocks. Now he needs more. ZywOo is pinned down and he knows he can't go for the repeat, but Device can't just hold this angle with impunity. They could be creeping along the wall.
Still got 50 seconds left. Magisk has been hiding all along over at the B-bomb side in case they try and do a late round switch up. But otherwise, yeah, they sort of want or need that AWP on Device to be the main engine for this particular round. But look at all the utility here on Vitality. If they get close, surely the grenades alone will do most of the work for them.
I like this switch up in the defense, though. Dupree's picked up an AK-47 playing on the low ground. Device has transitioned over towards Catwalk to protect Dupree. So when those smoke comes out, he'll have a chance with the AK-47 to shoot some spam, and maybe you can get lucky. Maybe you can hope to land some headshots as they cross over. Good flank for Magisk, but no armor. The aim punch is brutal, and Dupree, the luck does not go his way. A lurk again from Alex, who drops down into mid. Device called it out, but Dupree can't turn in time. And now Device a chance, but he missed the shot, and he has to back away. Maybe the 1-on-2 could have been doable, but now that he's missed it, it's all about saving this gun.
Yeah, and they're going to know soon enough that he's no longer even challenging for it. If Magisk could have got that kill in the middle on Alex for the first time around, maybe that would have been really interesting, but yeah, slim chance here for Astralis to make it through. And again, Vitality coming through with 3 people alive. Astralis get to save the AWP. That's kind of good news, but that doesn't change the fact that there's going to be a 4-2 lead for the T side. That's great news.
Yeah, that's really nice. The tough part is they haven't been able to take this AWP away from Device. That's something that gets very annoying playing against Astralis. The amount of rounds that Device is able to keep this AWP in his hands and use it moving forward is very, very dangerous. So, buys coming in for the defense as they try and recover. They can have whatever they want. They could actually go for a double op setup. The second AWP would be without a helmet, and that's going to be Dupree who picks it up. So he's got light armor and the 1 flashbang, but everyone else is going to be fully kitted out with utility.
That's 4 people without helmets, and there's a Mac-10 in place, so it's actually one of the rounds where it could make a difference. Magisk gets tagged. Yeah, it looks like they're going to try and do it. There's 3 people here. This could be a real disaster. Flashbang is pretty good. Dupree caught out a little bit, and Alex does go down, and now they're trying to power their way through. They need another kill. Shock's going to get 2 of them, and now Magisk, there's no ground to stand on. What a successful B-rush that is. And that was even in spite of the fact that they actually... All right. I kind of want to see a replay of Apex jumping into that.
Yeah, I mean, 3 defenders coming there. It looked, you know, initially looking at the minimap that it was going to be a perfect call to kind of stack this bomb site, but the aggressive nature of Dupree's off trying to peek into those halls is what really ruined him. He ate that flashbang so hard. Yeah,
you almost wonder if he had just kept looking while flashing, just try to time the shot and said, you know what, maybe I get, tag up 2 people like this, but what surprises me, usually when I see those B-rushes, when they really fall apart, is when people stand more or less where ZywOo is, and it's 3 people all trying to take a fight in that position. Right? Like, nobody is actually running onto the site, so then you're all weirdly grouped up, and I felt like Vitality had a moment where they were...
Yeah, that could have been the disaster, because the first kill did go to Astralis, but they kept up the pace, they kept up the aggression. They were very dedicated to that B hit, which was nice to see. They're obviously going to come out on top in the 5-2 scoreline now from this T side of Dust 2.
Again, 3 rifles alive. It's been like that for the last, 3 or 4 rounds. They've just been putting it together really well.
Look at the consequences. ZywOo 1,200 before the buy. Apex was at 10K. Shocks 9,400, obviously. So plenty of cash built up on the attacking side.
Here we go. Oh.
Whoop. Oh. Ooh.
That was
cinematic.
It's right in the genitals, wasn't it?
Worst place to take a grenade. Oh, RPK, that smoke is going to be perfect. Device already has a pick, though. That's on ZywOo. That was out towards long, and even the stack. They're going to run right into it. And Alex, he's trying to recover, and he's got a double kill. And now Magisk, he's got to feel so nervous. This long flank is the only thing he has to keep the pressure off of him. Although the attack is now relocating to B tunnels, they have to speed this up. They know they're being closed in. Magisk gonna dodge the flashbang. First kill is his, the second as well. What a perfect hold from Magisk. Shocks down low to 33. A chance in a 1-on-2.
Trying for that grenade one more time, but Shock's gonna sidestep it for a minute. It's very, very hard to find your way out of this one if you're Shocks. Now, if you find the AWP early and he misses the shot, actually Device is gonna be using the pistol instead. Smart play on him, and Shocks is in trouble. Glaive able to get the kill. Yeah, I don't know. Like, if he wins that first fight, maybe it's possible, but great hold on Magisk. Finding some orbs.
Yeah, taking their time. 2 kits as well. Got the whole bomb timer in their favor. 3-5. And yeah, what a recovery from Alex. And I wonder the decision to go away from the B split, he gets these double kills, right? So he has an option. The smokes are up. Or one smoke is up. Maybe that was the thing. Maybe because he didn't have a smoke, he expected the long players to rotate back. But if they'd had a mid portion to this attack, even if it was just one player, then you can at least maybe trade Magus out.
It was so close, wasn't it? Magus getting flashed by that grenade coming through the smoke. And if they flash him there, then probably at most he gets a kill, and then they're going to be both left and right around that box.
The slimmest of margins.
Very much so. 5-3.
And early on, we have Shocks at 8 kills for Vitality, Device at 8 kills for Astralis, the 2 leaders of their teams. Shocks being vocal again in the timeout.
Now he's thinking about it. I don't want him talking.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned that yesterday.
Yeah, just
keep your mouth shut.
Keep the focus on...
Win all the clutches.
Exactly. Hitting the headshots and nothing else.
Tactical pause has turned into a technical. Going to fix a mic real quick. Doesn't seem to be a massive issue.
Couple of headsets are off in the meantime. But yeah, what a great start here for the Vitality team. It's refreshing to see that. Now the map, I mean, they are playing Nuke as the final one, which is so rough to think about. So even if the Vitality power through this game, which is by no means that is not clear they're going to be able to do that yet. But
yeah, Vertigo does too in Nuke. You're really playing the series on nightmare mode.
Yeah,
Astralis.
That's pretty devastating. But I guess that is what happens when you play Astralis, at least some of the time. How is the other game unfolding at the moment?
The other game is unfolding in overtime on Overpass. That's really cool. Double overtime, in fact, between Fnatic and Furia.
Oh, brilliant. That's Dustin Vince still casting that?
Yes,
I think Vince said his voice was even wrecked a little bit. So
well, they've had some long days, Anders.
They have had some very long days.
They didn't have to deal with the travel that some of the other guys had to deal with coming here from New York, but yeah, we've got to swap out. We've got shifts over here. The B stream, you know, they don't follow work regulations.
They really don't, but hopefully they're having a good time. And you guys should open a second window in your browser and follow that too. Get a little bit of all of the action that's going on here at DreamHack.
Nice to see Furia putting up a fight as well. I always have like this head-scratching moment because we know the Brazilian fan base is like super passionate about their teams, for better or worse. But they always seem to be getting really excited about like the teams that in Brazil that aren't MIBR. You know, like the Immortals lineups, the XLG lineup now.
Yeah. This
Furia team has had a lot of excitement with K Serato and Yuri, and it is really fun to watch as well. But we haven't seen those teams, necessarily deliver the full way that it feels like the Brazilian fans want them to. So it's cool seeing them put up a fight here.
Yeah, they're still in that huge upset potential range.
Right.
But
that feels like it's about where they're going to stop. It feels like the ceiling at the moment.
Yeah, you would hope not, right? Because at some point you need to convert some of that into some more consistent results.
Speaking of which, shout out to Greyhound doing that exact thing. At one point, just in tournaments when they're getting to these events, it's the upset potential is there, especially in the BO1s. And now they've helped kind of chip away and knock out EG with their BO1 victory of them on day one. And now today they've knocked out Team Liquid in a series. That's phenomenal work. Love to see that kind of improvement.
Australia's answer to Hellraisers, essentially. It's an obscure reference, but
it is an obscure reference. I like it. It's a reference for the hardcore Counter-Strike people. Device getting aggressive on Catwalk, peering in towards lower B. We've seen this a number of times. That Molotov, yeah, makes the call as soon as he sees it. Does not want to get trapped in front of the Molotov. Didn't have any danger. There's no one on Catwalk to apply any pressure. Looks like Vitality is going to go for a timing hit into the B bomb site, and that kill's huge. Look at the shift. Look at the mini-map right now. Oh, they've left the B bomb site entirely. Oh, this is the freest bomb site you're going to get against Astralis. Magus is back, but for some reason, Zawu's not prepared for it, but that Krieg, it finally does the damage.
They still should not even be close to winning the round. And look who's flanking over at long. It's still Alex trying to do some damage and shooting in the back. And Astralis almost need to think about what they want to do right now, because if they go for the retake and Alex takes guns away, ooh, they're going to get that kill. And the bomb has only just been planted. Do they want to risk it? 3 versus 4 retakes on B is not easy. Now, they have grenades, and Vitality don't really have a lot, so maybe you try and go for this. But if you lose all the rifles now, you're actually going to be in a lot of trouble. A bit of a grenade there. Shocks going for the fight as they're actually falling back, and Dupree will get one in return. Still 2 left on the side. It's RPK and Apex holding on to it. Great shots coming out, and Magus now 1 versus 1, and he's going to go down to RPK. Vitality win the round and take all the guns, and I mean, that was a harder battle than it needed to be.
It felt like it, yeah.
But still So well worth it.
It's also actually the best case scenario that could happen for Vitality was the fact that Astralis did enough to make that retake feel believable. Because finally, Device can't save the AWP. Finally, they're going to have to reinvest in that weapon. And finally, Vitality gets the round against fully, pistoled up, upgraded pistols. It's Deagles, which we know they struggled with on Vertigo. Remember, they lost these rounds after winning the pistols against Astralis. But this is very nice. This gives them a good economic control, at least for the short term.
It does, and it did obviously cost them a fair bit, but
they're fine with that.
They should be able to recover a lot of that in this round, and we'll see how it goes. Holding everywhere on the map. Cyber's holding top mid, pretty far back, but still. Sharks on the other side.
And stacks for Astralis as well. Makeshift stack with Zip on the low ground, Magus with the scout up above, and they just busted it up when Alex went for the peak. Device and Glaive are also working together in middle. Device on catwalk and Glaive behind the double doors before he rotated over to the A-bomb site. That flashbang, that's well done. Alex going to take the peek, find the kill to help from RPK. 4 players out long while Shox is lurking in lower dark. Good shot. Nice shot from Aegis, and that opens up the possibility for more, but ZywOo's got his team covered.
It looked like that was going to be 2 for 1 almost. ZywOo's doing a good job though.
Oh, Shox saw that, and the entire team from Vitality hits the brakes and just turn around to look for Device.
Well, now they found a priest, and they know that that bomb site's going to be super clear. Still very worried about it, but I guess eventually just get the bomb down and find him later if you really need to. But it would be good for Vitality if nobody else died on this side. I wouldn't even really try and hunt for this too much. Just building the economy even further is going to be valuable later on if Astralis sneak in another round.
The unfortunate thing for Device is he'd love to find that AK-47 on Apex, but that's obviously out towards long, which is going to be covered, and he knows it. So now he's just looking for some kind of a straggler, some kind of lurker, and no one is doing such a thing for Vitality. So 7-3. That's a very cool start after the beating we saw in Vertigo. Nice to see Vitality just able to kind of wipe it out of their minds.
Yeah, that's sort of an essential component. I think with the overall experience of this team, you would expect as much. But and it's with Sharks in the lineup yet, you obviously hope that there's going to be no early infighting, no nothing like that, right? It's too early. We're still on honeymoon, aren't we?
We have a lot of teams in honeymoon period right now. There was, what, 6 teams, I think, coming into this event with a new lineup that we hadn't seen on LAN?
Yeah.
A couple of them had a little bit more time than others to be able to practice ahead of the event, but a lot of debuts at DreamHack Masters.
If you end up fighting on your honeymoon, that's surely not a good sign.
Yeah, I can't imagine that'd be a good thing. In any sense.
Double AWP now in play on the Astralis team. Device in the pre. And kind of a loose hold towards middle, just spotting what's in the middle. Magus there on one side.
That's a nice timing in the favor of Vitality. Obviously, just kind of a little bit of blind luck. But Device, when he's been aggressive on Catwalk, has looked for that exact boost. And they bring it out in a round where Device was not aggressive on Catwalk. They've done that maybe 1 or 2 other times. Could have been an easy pick for the Danish Opera. Zip goes down towards long, which is going to force Device to give up his position at an off angle on Catwalk because he wants to be able to go between the 2 positions. And actually, it's Glaive who calls off the defense. The Device is going to feel awkward as he gave up the position and circles back to get the exact same one all over again.
That was Shox, I believe, sitting inside of a smoke, which seems to be the new thing. People love doing that.
Taste of Astralis' own medicine?
A little bit, right? Glaive, though, going to win that fight pretty much straight up. 40 seconds left. They're starting to fall back over towards long. Device is going to be there with the AWP. There's nobody coming from Catwalk, but they're going to have a fair few grenades. Can he get into position? Glaive almost able to get the perfect lineup, but now still trouble. 25 seconds on the clock, and Device, he's got the right idea, but they're coming in from 2 angles, and that's a smart play from ZywOo. Another headshot rings through, taking down Magus again. And they just ran down that bomb site.
Yeah, this is looking very good for Vitality. ZywOo even passing the op over to Shox so he could be one of the aggressors to take that bomb site. Shox with a lower HP. I think Glaive might have been able to get those kills. He got pegged by the smoke.
Yeah.
That did just slow him down, that one little misstep.
How long do you think before people start doing sort of the next phase in this smoke versus non-smoke battle, where as the smoke is fading, like 1 second before it fades, you just start shooting into it? Because now you can be...
I guess it's situational, right? Because there are certain scenarios where that's happening where you don't want to give up your position.
Yeah, but I feel like now you're... Oh, wow. That's bad news. There are just so many more times now where it's likely someone will be there. Because people have figured out how to do that, so...
Oh, that's unfortunate. Glaive's going to be frustrated. Wasn't able to clean that kill up too easily. ZywOo maintaining the aggression onto the bomb site. Great spin. Triple kill. Tactical pause from Astralis, and you can understand why. 8-3, they're just being battered at the moment. This is fun to see.
They're taking a little bit of a beating here, and I mean, it's still possible that they can come back and do some damage in this first half, right? I would say if they get like, 5 or 6 rounds, then it's still something to fight for here. But even that is looking sketchy because of the economy. Things are not looking anywhere near as good as they could be right now. They've been playing a very passive game. Have you noticed, Astralis? Not a lot of pushes, like double push into upper dark, nothing, like no double push towards Catwalker. And like, it's been a little bit of something, but nothing like what we've seen in other games.
No, but this is one of the benefits, I think, of being a team like Astralis that's been dominant for so long is you can start having deeper playbooks on maps where you can totally change up the style. Like, you know they can switch right back into that at any point, but also you play an aggressive style maybe against other teams, and then you know research is going to come in. So if you can like easily transition and say, you know what, we've been aggressive on Dust 2 as we mentioned when this started. We've seen Device peeking in towards mid. We've seen them kind of setting up and being willing to take those fights with the ops. And then you can switch things up, and Vitality might be assuming you're going to still maintain that aggression, and you just kind of change the style that they looked into. It's obviously not working. I did paint it in a very positive light for the fact that it is a 3-8 scoreline. Yeah,
but I mean, if they were going to try and switch it, then it has to come pretty soon. They're doing a little bit in this round, but it's only with pistols, so I kind of I'm having a hard time scoring it, the same way. Glaive is going to be in the A-bomb side alone with a Deagle. Now would be just the time to hit some good headshots. But if he misses even 1 or 2 here, then they're gonna come for him pretty quickly. Alex goes down, so the flank actually does seem to be somewhat well timed. Glaive flashed and trying to fall back. The HE grenade actually gonna land right on top. They fell back into that. That is well done. 29 seconds, and all of Vitality weirdly clumped up on this ramp. Not really sure where to go. Apex is now coming down to long as well. I think he was fighting a bit in middle and had to fall back from that one. Still no bomb plant. 19 seconds now. They really need to move here. And RPK and ZywOo coming through with some big kills, and they've just managed to do it. They slowed it down just enough to be able to pick up that round. That could have gone horribly wrong.
And I think that's fair play. Don't rush. Ooh, nice shot from Aegis. Kind of, yeah, it's not going to win the round, but just a cool shot. I like the fact that they slowed that down, because if you're trying to start to feel panicked with 25 seconds left and you're trying to come around that, you saw the AK-47 from Zip over at Gandalf was ready to mow him down. They had Deagles inside the bomb site, but Vitality fights out of a very tough situation.
Imagine for a minute there if Astralis had a Molotov or another grenade even or anything like that. That could have been.
Yeah, if they had just bombed another one over, that would have been sweet.
No such luck. 9-3, and now I think Astralis have to make a stand here. No more saving guns. No more getting close. It's time to start to pick up rounds, and that's a good start. The flashbang from Shox and allowing RPK to pick up that kill. Now he does go down as a follow-up, and that was a pretty good combination there.
An important 1-for-1 trade. Oh, ZywOo. Nice. There's a gap in the smoke. A great headshot, and just now Astralis getting picked apart. And they can change things. It looked like they were rotating on the map to have a contact play. Look at Glaive, though. So much information being gathered. Big risk, but it's going to pay off. Device picking one more player, but Glaive is taking a long route towards the B-halls, towards Upper Dark, which is going to leave Device all alone. But Vitality and Alex, ZywOo and Alex in middle, Shox on Catwalk. They've again slowed things down, and this is going to give Glaive time for this flank that seemed like it might be, pushing out of position.
Oh, but Device, Shox, if he just moves up the right way, it could work out. They could flash Shox into this peak, but he could also just try and edge his way in there. Alex going to be going out, so is Device, and the bomb is here, though. This is very awkward. The grenade doesn't do that much, and ZywOo just going to be walking in, gets taken out as well. Glaive, huge risk early on to push long that early in the round, but he's got a triple kill so far, and Shox really wants that bomb back. Molotov is going to go a bit too wide. HE grenade probably going to do a little bit. And oh, wow, that actually somehow catches him, and Shox still going down. Meg is barely able to save that round. Oh, wow, that is so close.
That is extremely close. Glaive just had no idea that Molotov was going to spread to him. That's wild. But the fact that Vitality slows this down, the flank from Glaive looked like he was actually flanking out of position, away from where maybe the attack from Vitality was going to come from. Unfortunately, the pause allowed that flank to be so effective. Still, Astralis win, but with one player. So low on nades, one AWP, that's going to be on Device. And I don't think they can actually fight for long. I think they're going to have to give this up because of the lack of nades. Flashbangs out, Device, oh, he's just waiting for it. He goes for the peek after he hears the pops. And he's going to stick around. He wants to challenge with this op. He wants it desperately. Alex can't win the fight against Zip. But still 3 players at A, and the hit coming towards Catwalk. They could be in for some trouble if Device could rotate back in time.
Glaive has a Molotov, so maybe he could do a little bit to buy some time, but you're absolutely right. If they're not there when the main push shows up, and it kind of is now, that's trouble indeed. A nice shot on RPK. And no reply from Saibu yet, and Glaive is going to peek him on the other side. So that's some good teamwork coming out here from Astralis, making sure that they sort of divert his attention or split his attention between those 2 positions. And Dupree, a lot of damage, but not the kill. He'll get Apex as well, and that's a clean round finally for Astralis. They're making up for it very, very late in this half here, but 9-5. If they win the 6th round here, and they could, then, I mean, it's still a great first half for Vitality, but it's going to feel a little bit more like, oh man, we nearly had them all the way broken. Which
is just about the most Astralis thing you can think of, right? Is like this has been a phenomenal half for Vitality, but then you look at the scoreline and you're like, I feel like with how nice of a half it was for Vitality, they should have more of a lead. We'll have to see. Slow-paced again. This time Device has control of long, peeking deep through the double doors, but no one showing presence. More of a default setup for Vitality. We've seen a lot of the old-school French, the 4-1 death squads that they popularized in the early stages of CSGO. Alex seemed to be running a similar style through parts of this half.
Yeah, and it's pretty lethal when you consider how much aim is going to be in any one of those moments. I mean, the trading potential for it is pretty huge. Device, this we've seen before. That Molotov is meant to be, if he's in the forward position, the flashbang means he doesn't really want to stick around, but people do sometimes make the mistake of thinking they've Molotov someone back from there, and then actually they walk right into the off shot. It's going to be another split for long, isn't it? And Glaive is completely alone out here.
Yeah, he really is, but if he can sink to the bottom of pit, Device can actually maintain aggression with the AWP at long range. Alex lurking out mid, setting up a mid to B split. This might be confusing, but that Molotov throws them off. The Molotov in towards long. You can see everyone has to back away. They can't actually take advantage of the distraction that Alex has caused, and this, I think, will allow Astralis to readjust their defense in a proper way. Glaive still maintaining aggression. Device supporting with deep flashbangs from the A bomb site. Nice nade work, and Device now committed here. Glaive has to win the fight, and he can't. And now Device has nowhere to go.
Yeah, he really does not have a lot of ground to stand on. He's got a bit of smoke to try and just create a bit of space down towards long, and they're going to be smoking off with a cross. Tip flashed in, and he only gets the 1 kill. Time running out quickly right now. 15 seconds on the clock and Device. Surely they're right behind him, and I don't think he knows. Apex on top of the box, and 9 seconds left. Magus turning around and spinning, but he can't stop the bomb plant. And now it's a 2-on-3 here for round number 15. Cyber will take down Magus and Dupree. He just couldn't get into the fight early enough, and surely no chance. Shox will take him down. A teammate at the end here for Vitality, and a 10-5.
Very little utilities. You can tell those 2 players want to be able to get an AWP on the board at some point.
Yeah, that's probably a great idea. A few grenades here on the CT side, so they could do some damage in this round. Maybe get a good smoke timing down. Shox is back. He's got a flashbang. Maybe could just put it. Oh, he's going to be throwing it low instead. Apex will pick up a kill, and that actually does force them back. Ooh. So good start.
A little bit of a shank on Zip as well in the retreat from Dupree, and Device still here. That's an AK-47 salvaged by Apex. He'll pass it over to someone else, Zaiwu, who has no armor, but he's going to be in middle. We'll see what he can find. Dupree about to cross the doors. He's waiting for that good headshot from Dupree. An immediate response. And now a split opens up. Dupree and Device can head up catwalk while Glaive and Zip pressure from long, and this could be deadly. RPK is going to go for the peek. He does tag Glaive. Alex now trying to fall back and get into a new position. Smoking off the rail, but here's the split portion of the attack, and it works just perfectly. Device able to be patient and lurk in middle.
Shark's going to try and save the AK, which I don't really blame him for. Apex could still look for kills if he wants to. So yeah, some danger in that round, I think. Could have been a moment there. Especially if Cyber wins the fight in middle. Oh, long range.
That's a bold play.
Not easy to do with a
with the 5.7. All right, Shocks, let's see what you got. No armor. Device only has a scalp, but yeah, the aim punch, even with just a pistol, he's so brutal. He still wins the fight, but now they know the position and they want that AK back. It's theirs. And Apex can't get involved. He's just got to sit and wait, hope somebody walks into his crosshair, which is doubtful it's going to happen.
Yeah, not looking like it at the moment. 10-7, the scoreline.
The other game is, I don't even know what overtime that would be. Score is 27-24 in favor of Furia.
Digging deep into overtime.
Yeah, that's like a 2-map. 2 maps in one. They got a 2-fer, Dustin Vince. Congratulations.
I hope they're having a good time. Hope they got the, peppermint tea ready or whatever they like,
Yeah, the ginger, the honey.
All the good stuff. Keep yourself ready for it. 17 kills on Shocks. That's pretty good. I feel like I want to see even more, though.
They're going to need even more if they want to outlast on this map and force us onto nuke. Again, same strategy as last time. Mega's going to lead the way. Zip and Dupree in support, and actually everyone from Vitality is being called over. This time, Megas feels the pressure before he gets involved, and Glaive has called 3 players in middle, all rotating over as fast as humanly possible, so everyone from Astralis just backs away. Except for Megas, who comes back for more. Zip came back for more. That's not what you want. ZywOo double kill with the P250. Molotov to buy himself time as well. This is dangerous. The bomb is up there as well. Astralis is going to have to recover.
That is so wild. I wasn't even sure if Megas had actually seen him, but obviously when he doesn't tell his teammate, you know for sure he doesn't know. What a beautiful sequence. Double there.
A Krieg and an AK salvage, and they can back away towards T-spawn, and what a long range to have this. Now, there are smokes, so I mean, this choke point can be blocked off, but that bomb is dropped inside the choke point.
Is he going to flash him in? That would be so brutal. Timing is absolutely everything right now. Oh, they're going to wait. No, I thought maybe he was going to go take the peek first. He's waiting for it. There's the shot. Is the flashbang going to come? Not in time. It's a second too late. That's very, very hard to coordinate, and that also reveals exactly where Shocks is. And you're right. Smoke going to be put up. The bomb has now been recovered, and Shocks, he's got no armor. So any of these fights, I mean, it has to be just clean headshots. He's going to have to just take their faces off. Otherwise, it won't work. And you know where he is. Dupree, not even scared to fall back. And with a follow-up smoke, even a Molotov, man.
I don't think this is winnable for Shocks. I think you just save the AK at this point. Maybe go for an exit kill, but I think committing into this bomb site is the wrong... Oh, wow, now you go for it. Now you jump right through, but Dupree to the left. Now that kill through the smoke made it a real possibility.
We all wanted to believe at that moment, didn't we?
I did.
Could you imagine if he could have got the follow-up as well? Now this is beautiful, and just the immediate reaction. Still, 10-8 is the scoreline. The double up is now in play for the Vitality side. But the Danes they're slowly closing in. Device, is he going to try and challenge this? Yeah, a bit late, and it's a really quick trade. Over at long, Sip doing a lot of damage and also receiving a lot of damage.
I think you're fine with that trade if you're Astralis. The one pick, and now look, Glaive, he's just going to lead the way out middle. He's just going to march his way in. One smoke down. There's 3 defenders at the A side of the map. That means Apex is going to have quite a job to do. Molotov comes in. I don't think that's going to slow anyone down. Maybe Zip, who's heavily damaged. The shots are connecting. A good trade, an important trade for Glaive, and he's going to be able to get into this side, but Device is surely going to go down at some point in middle.
Yeah, that's a nice flank coming out of Alex, and oof. Scary moment, but he made his way past. The bomb does go down. They have a Molotov on Dupree, and that actually could mean something here. Flashbang maybe to try and buy an extra second, but this won't be an easy hold right now for Astralis. A lot of grenades also on the Vitality side. Dupree going to be falling back through, saying, you know what, I don't actually think they're going to be showing up here. That's a deep Molotov throws all the way on the other side. I'm not sure it's going to hold anyone back. They're through the smoke, and inside they can't see a single thing at all. And ZywOo, he needs this next kill. Glaive on the other side of the box. He doesn't have a kit currently picked up, and even that time spent is too much. Glaive with the triple, and Astralis will win the round barely. But still, that's a big swing here. They win the first 4 rounds in the second half. And Vitality have got to be frustrated about that.
Just what a nice, confident counter call when you see the presence out at long, when you have the trade in middle and realize there's going to be a weakness in that part of the map, that part of the defense. Yeah, even the retake's difficult. I think a flashbang came in late for Vitality as well. Seemed like that second player coming in through the smoke that Glaive got was a little bit blind. Either way, Vitality going to have to try and recover quickly as this timeout comes to a close.
Back with the Deagles now to try and figure something out. But this is, I don't know, it's not really in panic time at all, but we're starting to get that feeling that maybe they still left the door open a bit too much for Astralis. Maybe that's going to be bad news. Device, realizing he was overexposed, if he wanted to keep having that fight towards Pit, I'm going to be falling back into that. Shox and Apex, though, speed running their way through the map now.
Yeah, they've been going for these flanks. Remember, Pistron was what, ZywOo and Shox who did this flank, but you know, Vitality's not been shy about pushing into that upper dark and figuring things out. ZywOo had that round with the P250 as well, where he did something similar. And Magus is going to get caught. And now, yeah, look at the Astralis. They have the perfect read. They're like, all right, well, if you guys pushed B and got all the way to T-spawn, we're just going to go to B, because surely there's a very small chance that you're going to have any kind of a crazy defense here. You might think you've trapped us towards A, but it's going to be a free plant.
That's frustrating. You wish if you're a Vitality and you get that far in that there was, you know, two people out there. Maybe you get two guns, you could do something else. But yeah, another round where just not really stacking up for the CT side. They do get a Krieg, which is still nothing to complain about, I guess. But that's going to tie up the scoreline.
The nice thing, if you're Vitality, you can just actually set up for exit kills, because you've really beat up this economy. Remember, the previous round was a 1 versus 1 that Glaive was victorious in. And Glaive is looking for someone to be there. You mentioned it, when the smoke starts fading, what's the chances you just start spamming it? But Glaive doesn't spam, but he knows the possibility. He's got the follow-up, but this is where Alex can do some work with this 5-7. Glaive is low, good kills. Those are so critical. The money is going to be so low. He would have loved to have had that and pick up the Krieg. But Vitality, even though they've lost all 5 rounds, it feels like, in some sense, they're winning the economy game. And that's put Astralis in a position where they can get reset if they lose this round.
Yeah, which is huge. Remember how when Vitality got started on the T side, how all of their rounds, they survived with 3 members? There's like 4 in a row where they did that, which is huge. Astralis have had a bunch of rounds here where it's just single people surviving, and that could be a problem. Meg is very quick with the flashbang, going to be running in. He sees someone in the corner, but there's a guy behind him, and I don't think he knows yet. They get shots, and now Apex is in trouble. They double up on him, and he's going to be traded as well. 2 for 2, and that is so worth it if you're Astralis. Now, can they actually get the bomb down before there's any more? Oh, and the spawn as well. He hears him. Device going to be taking down Alex, and that otherwise would have been a godlike flank, but now they're in a lot of trouble.
And I guess the best response Vitality could have had is try and go for their quick retake where the bomb was being planted, because you knew one player was going to be occupied and you knew Device was far away. They missed the opportunity because of a Molotov. The utility from Astralis keeping them at bay, and the only option they have is to save the weapons. An 11th round for Astralis. They've stormed right back into this match. A great first half for Vitality, but that feels so long ago now that Astralis have rattled off 6 in a row to start their offensive side.
Yeah, that is quite the offense, isn't it? Vitality saving the AWP on ZywOo, and that's even like that's one of the issues, isn't it? When that kind of play comes out, you don't even get a chance to rotate ZywOo into a position where you can do much.
Right.
And that's super frustrating. Like, he would love to have a round here, ZywOo, where he can, you know, sneak in a kill on catwalk, then fall back, you know, go to middle, sort of like be very mobile and just sort of slowly winning those fights.
This feels like it's been a very simple and assertive play style from Astralis, right? Like we've seen them play their offense where, you know, you can see them make, you know, multiple moves across the map, pulling the defenses apart, going for picks. But this is more of like a powerhouse, it feels, where they get the indication, they get a sense of what kind of defense, and they make one single call to counter what they've seen, what information they've gathered. And it's working.
I don't think Alex actually, I mean, nobody saw anything, but the timing was so good. This time with the return to take down Sip. Now they know where that orb is, at least. What do they want to do from here on out? Now their Magus is on guard duty over at Upper Dark, and I can't really blame them. Shox, who was tagged up earlier in the middle, goes down to Glaive. That's a massive problem. There's nobody holding B right now. Not that Astralis necessarily know that, but surely they're going to find out eventually.
Well, they're patient, waiting for these smokes to subside across the map. Device peering into that A bomb site. RPK is just, oh yeah, he sees the barrel for sure.
He could try and go for the shot if he just wanted to do some damage.
Why would you? You know his position. Don't do anything that's going to spook him. You have information. Let him stay there. You know you have him trapped in as well. He's like, oh, he's going to line it up. He's got him tagged, and he's going to do it again. He's got him tagged one more time. RPK goes for the challenge and almost wins it.
But now ZywOo's there as well. Oh, he's not actually peeking it.
No, but look at what it's done. It's frozen RPK and ZywOo at the A bomb site. Apex goes for a move in middle. He's caught by Glaive on the lurk. Neither of the kills come out, but again, it doesn't matter. They know the position of everyone from Vitality, and the B bomb site is open, and Vitality all falling on the retake, or on the rotation, I should say.
Man, that was a very unconventional battle. Seeing the gun barrel slowly forcing him out. Took a lot of damage in the follow-up fight, but that is now the 7th round in a row. And that's where Vitality say, you know what, 7 is enough, guys. We need a break.
Second time out of the half, I believe. They haven't been able to recover. This has slipped completely out of their control.
What do you do at this point? French Moses is not happy.
Yes, we are both bald.
It's very cheap comedy at this point, isn't it?
Very lowbrow. I don't mind it though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They've done a lot of aggressive moves, and Astralis are now watching for it.
I guess the one thing you can do if you're Vitality, the next time you get ZywOo with an AWP, don't stick him at that A-bomb site. Tell him to just be aggressive wherever he wants, whether it's catwalk, I mean, we haven't seen a whole lot of ops trying to peek into lower B or anything along those lines. Ooh, long is a big emphasis, and Alex gets caught in an awkward fight. Flashbangs and even just jumping into the air. Nothing that was a winning recipe. Oh, Zipper's gonna burn to death. He even looked down and he was like, yeah.
My feet are on fire.
I'm gonna die.
Well, he accepted it, I suppose. That's good news. The flank here, and again, yeah, this time they're so much more ready for it. Apex trying to be fast and beat the timing, but that's happened a fair few times already. You see Dupree's holding middle for this potential push here behind the car, and yeah, they're not going to get caught off guard once again. Good job on that one.
Yes.
I would be interested to see something like a mid-crunch early on. Something like a two-man boost and maybe with one guy playing middle, but then you try and flash your way in and try and sneak in a kill against whoever is there.
Okay.
Because that, I mean, it's still aggression, which is what Astralis surely are expecting, but it's a flavor of aggression they haven't tried so much. I think a double op, so maybe that's not the move they're going to go for, but...
It looks like Astralis might be lining up for an uppercut. Device has the bomb, so he doesn't have to commit that. He can go towards the B bomb site, or he can be part of the readjustment, but really early mid to B splits. Astralis not scared whatsoever of just marching down, and they're just going to force out the response. They just want to see if there's going to be any kind of rotation, any kind of counter utility used, but they don't even exploit the mid to B smokes.
And now that mid player inside with the op is fallen back. If they Molotov that back, which Shox is, he's got a smoke so he could put it out, but that still leaves him in a very vulnerable position. He stands up to get a kill. There comes the Molotov landing on top of him, and he can't see really much of anything. That smoke will save him for a minute. They're going to back off again, but in the middle waiting for them is Alex, and they spot him out. Heads up play for Magisk, even checking for that, and they are at least going to get the kill in return. Are now a man down, and a lot of grenades. Almost all of their grenades have been spent here.
No, Vitality's done a really good job holding on in this round. They haven't overextended. They haven't over-rotated anywhere. They still have, they're winning the nade battle. Astralis has used those nades early and mid to force out the response. They weren't able to get anything out of it. Then they attack that B bomb site using utility to try and force Shox out. They don't get anything for it. So now just 2 Molotovs to utilize. And ZywOo, this is where he's called upon because there's no flashes to force him off this angle. As long as RPK survives, ZywOo should be able to just smash this round. Flashbang into the air. Holding the off angle, not peeking too deep, and that's the security. That is the insurance policy. And ZywOo, that's easy picking for him.
18 seconds here, and Device gonna fake the bomb once. Getting a bit close, he actually hits that, but ZywOo stays alive and will get the double kill at the end. So, very, very cool, and I think there's a chance there when Shox stands up to get that first kill from back on the plateau.
Yeah,
he could have just as well stood up into a bullet, and then I think they just go for it.
Yes.
But the fact that he got the kill, got the smoke down, stayed alive, they just didn't feel comfortable pushing that. And well done on the Vitality side. That finally puts an end to it. 7 rounds in a row for Astralis, and now Vitality with a round win. They can still buy, and that's the big trouble here. If they lose it now, Vitality, they might not make it to that map number 3, but if they win it, there is a definite chance, a big chance, in fact, that we'll get to see Nuke. Glaive going down, and a follow-up fight. RPK coming into his own over at this long defense, and he's got a lot of backup with him here. Oh, this is a shutdown.
Yeah, the tank doesn't even need no backup. 3 kills for him. Utility being used, flashbang to grab a new angle, and there's just bodies there all day long. Dupree's finally put him down, and, well, Alex doesn't like seeing that. I don't think they have any idea that Alex is in the pit, though. Even if they were to try and push long because of that kill, Dupree would have been a sitting duck. With the bomb, he's going to come join up with his teammate. But Apex, oh, this is actually scary. This is a lot down to timing between Dupree and Apex. If Dupree finds this kill, that can open everything up, and he spots it. Now he goes for the walk. Apex has no idea. Maybe he does, but Dupree still wins the fight. Shox now has to hold on to B.
Yeah, he does. The smoke going up, but he's got the AWP out in time. Man, that would have been devastating if somehow he'd got caught at the wrong moment there, and he almost was. I think Apex did hear him just at the end. There was like a last footstep that gave it away. Otherwise, who knows? 30 seconds now, and doesn't really seem to be any kind of a path. I mean, he could get onto A and put the bomb down, but then he has to fight on the bomb site with almost no chance.
Yeah, well, his HP doesn't even necessarily matter in this point, right? Double op setup. An ops on a retake? You never know. They're all going to come from Catwalk. They do have one Molotov for the bomb site, which is huge, and actually ZywOo's going to get there very early, and yeah, Dupree has no chance to get into a position. Nice job, ZywOo, with the op. And Vitality, they finally, I mean, not just winning that first round, but the second round, and they've taken a lot of the money away. I think they're going to have to go through one more buy from Astralis, but this finally feels like things were just slipping out. Like they were sliding out of this map, and they finally just planted their feet. And they've stopped themselves from some kind of catastrophic half on defense. And they've got a real chance to recover.
Yeah, things are looking so much better. I mean, especially if you factor in the economy, a lot of what they did in those 7 rounds that they lost, at least, was keeping the economy low for the Danish side. Otherwise, they would have probably had to play another 2 rounds like this versus all the guns, whereas now instead, it's deagles, all 5 of them. Which is, I don't know. It is fun, and it's not that it's without danger, but at this point in the game, you have to think that they're not just going to get that many fights without running into grenades, too. This
is an interesting swap on the defense. ZywOo's gone to the B bomb site. Shox out towards long. Would make you feel like maybe they thought it was going to be some kind of a hit towards the B bomb site when you put your star player there? Because, I mean, they both have ops, right?
Yeah, you're right. Doesn't really change the defense in terms of what weapons are there.
Yeah, it doesn't change like the setup necessarily. It just changes the players within that setup.
If nothing else, sometimes if you do swap out players like that, right, it does make calls a bit more confusing on the offensive side, because suddenly you're like, wait a minute, Shox is playing long, but he's usually in B, so what does that mean, you know? So you might have to spend an extra second figuring out exactly what's going on. Smoke fades. Device gonna try and see if he can follow that with some aggression. RPK taking a little bit of damage, but they're out of grenades on the Astralis side, so now it's just headshots. That's the only option really left here. And they line up for RPK. That could have been such a delightful spray down. Device actually hitting a second headshot, and Shox, well, they're gonna go with the bomb plant. And any bit of cash right now is actually gonna help out Astralis. Not gonna get much of a chance after this though, as Magus is low on health and out of teammates. And goes down to Apex, so good recovery. Vitality, I don't think they were in a lot of danger of losing that. It looked like they had that under control, more or less. That's going to tie it up. 13-13.
Astralis, though, with the bomb plant, their money is going to balloon. Again, they'll have whatever they want, and that almost gives them 2 buys because of the conservative approach to just kind of save there. So many players even just above 6K. They're going to be at around 1,500 after the buy for most of the Astralis side. So that's very nice economic management down the stretch. 2 Kriegs, 2 AKs, and an AWP.
I'm not gonna. It's too soon to call it on a single map, but the fact that Shox has got 24 kills, I feel like for the future of this team is that would be good news.
Oh, he's back.
Not saying that. Listen, I know that could have been the call. I
could have been,
but
you did set that up quite nice.
I'm just saying that if they can have him be, you know, use. Maybe not 100% Shox, but you know, just close to the top of his level in this team. That would make a lot of difference. Now look at who's pushing over and up a dark. Meg is holding on one side, but Apex and Shox are trying, and that's a big kill. Shox with the return, though. That's really important. If he goes down, that might just be the round. And now we've got an open middle, open B. And what do they want to do here on the Astralis side?
The long is close to them. Alex is pushed up into the long cave. So unless Zip is going to force that out, use a Molotov to clear things, that's very dangerous. And Vitality taking a bit of a risk. Shox alone at the B bomb site with an AWP. RPK ZywOo in the A bomb site. I think the only thing making them feel confident to leave Shox alone is that Alex can have a fast flank if there was some kind of a mid to B split. So ZywOo now cheating back. Oh, he wanted the information. He thought he was outpatiencing Astralis, but ZywOo is still here. He can rotate towards long and hold that off. He's just got to be careful. His full attention cannot be towards Catwalk.
Now Shox goes down in middle. He wanted to be closer to the rotation, and that's a huge problem. Yeah, they get picked apart in this round. Oh man, just a little bit of nerves, a little bit of early aggression.
Yeah.
Obviously on Alex, but even Shox getting a little bit close to middle maybe. I wonder, but that crossfire between ZywOo and RPK there, that could have easily been the difference.
I think you're exactly right. I think it was just Vitality losing their nerve with that setup. I mean, obviously, you can't know it on their side of the thing, but they seemed set up perfectly to stop what Astralis was coming, and then obviously Alex pushes, and that starts the waterfall. That starts Shox trying to start cheating over towards the A bomb site, Device waiting for him. Vitality likely thinking that there was no way Astralis was going to be watching that many angles so patiently across the map.
Well, the last timeout has been called for the Vitality side as we head into round number 28. And they have money to buy, at least. And that is, I mean, if they didn't have that, this would come to a truly depressing end for them. It still might if they can't win this next round. This is the last chance they've really got. Otherwise, I think it'll be stolen from them right at the end. Second half here for Astralis has been fairly ridiculous, though. 7 rounds, then 3 for Vitality, then now we're back to Astralis again.
We'll see. I mean, Vitality, this is really their last chance. All their cash into this investment. They must stop them here. Dupree gonna push down mid. Apex is blind next to the door, gathering information, hearing footsteps up towards Catwalk. That's Glaive, but the rest of Astralis is rotating towards the B bomb site.
Oh, wow. If they somehow go through this smoke, if they flash their way through, Shox is the only one holding there. And it looks like that's what's happening. What a devastating tragedy pulling around like this. You can feel it coming. An absolute train wreck about to hit here. Shox in the corner. Apex in the middle is down. He's going to fire that gun. He does get a kill, nearly a double. I don't know how he could have done anything else, but it's save time already.
Yeah, they can't even attempt to go for the retake. The hit is way too convincing. Nice job from Astralis. And remember, that's a pretty bold call. So either they had a great read of the economy, but Vitality, for the most part, is running a double op setup. And they've tried to make that kind of a B hit work when Shox is in the back of platform with the op, and it doesn't work. So either they said, like, their economy's likely wrecked, they probably don't have a double op setup, or they just went for it anyways. They're in the driver's seat. They're going to have 2 chances to close out this map. Plenty of money with which to do it.
They could, even if they really want to send... Oh, well, now Glaive has also stepped on a grenade, so maybe not. But I was going to say, obviously, if they'd taken any of these rifles away from Vitality's point of view, that would be truly devastating. On top of everything else, it is series point now for Astralis, a single round away from making it into the semi-finals, and also avoiding playing tomorrow, so they could extra day of rest to just recover.
Yeah, what's unfortunate for Vitality, they saved those 3 guns, but no one really had enough cash to drop an M4 over. It's 2 FAMASes that are dropped to Shox and Apex, the players who went down there.
Wow, they're not even worried about running down the middle, are they?
No, they're not worried about any kind of a peak. And again, it might be a situation where they know just the economy's just been so beat up. I would not be surprised if they go right back at the B bomb site, considering Shox and Apex were the 2 players that went down in the previous round. They might be saying, like, you might have been dropped to FAMAS, you might have been dropped to UMP, but you're going to be missing some power at this bomb site, at this side of the defense.
Retracting their presence over at the B side now, Astralis, just to make it lurking in middle with 4 people grouping up outside of the long position. RPK's been doing a fantastic job out there defending on his own, but it's going to be rough to do this now, isn't it? With flashbangs, with everything else, and in that corner, there's no falling back from it, right? Like the first fight, and you're engaged in that fight forever, pretty much, until you go down. First flashbangs don't really do a lot. Second one actually does a fair bit there. They line up for him, and a big kill. That could have been a double. Needed to be a double, I want to say. 45 seconds now.
Yeah, they have time to change the plan if they'd like to. ZywOo getting aggressive. This could be massive. He's going to peek the corner. Glaive's not ready for it. Glaive goes down. He's trapped, though, and he's got the second. The follow-up. Magus just trying to walk around the corner. And ZywOo, unfortunately, he backs off. That's huge, and look at the push in lower dark. Shox is going to be the first one. He just spotted the head of Zip. That's going to bring ZywOo's attention back, and he's got a triple. And Device, nothing you can do. 4 kills for ZywOo to keep the map alive for Vitality.
That is very well done, and that little bit of communication, just seeing the head of Zip for him to turn around, that is so important. That absolutely shuts it down. Tactical timeout being called for Astralis. They got
2 left.
2 left, yeah, but 1 chance here to finish it in regulation or play overtime. Is the other game still in overtime? On?
Oh my god, it is. 32-31.
Wow.
That is mental. Brolin has 53 kills. Crims has 50 kills. Vinny for Furia has 54 kills. Yuri at 49. That's wild. When was the last time we saw an overtime game go that long? I thought the major was rough.
Yeah,
but that was what. This has got to be one of the longest games in CS.
It's getting really close now. It must be, yeah.
Because we had 5 overtimes in the major, and that was the record for a major game.
Yeah, I believe so. Well, rest in peace, Vincent Dust.
Still 1 more to go, boys. Buckle in. Oh, catwalk.
Ooh, they're going to try and push right on top of it. Device ready to take that one. He's going to run into the flames and taking down Alex. That is some real aggression. Now, down the middle, he'll finally fall, but what a play coming out from Device to try and close this one out. And Zip will win the fight against RPK. Nobody left defending on the bomb side. This is a disaster. It was taken away by Device at the end there. That double kill is worth absolutely all of it. 26 on him, and Shox going down in the middle, and now it's Apex. He gets the guy planting the bomb on Dupree, but there's nothing else left. 16-14, and they are going to be in the semifinals here. Astralis, 2 maps is all it took.
What a godlike play.